Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Disney Insiders.
Yay. So a little reminder of who we are. So I'm Elise, and I was in the spring 2022 DCP, and I worked at Magic Kingdom for Main Street Daily Operations.
Yep. And I'm Amanda. I worked for the spring DCP. I worked at Soarin' Around the World, the attraction in Epcot.
Yeah. So today we thought it would be fun if we did a little Q&A session.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what we did is we both put like a story on our Instagram so that people can reply with questions for us to answer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to do today.
Yep. So we're going to go back and forth asking the questions that you guys asked us to each other, and we're just going to go and answer them. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first? Well, you have more, so you can go first.
Okay. Let's start with how were the dorms? So, I guess you can like kind of call them dorms.
Mm-hmm.
They're like full like apartments.
Yes.
And basically it was at the Flamingo Crossings.
Yes.
Is that the whole name?
Flamingo Crossings Village.
That was it. And so basically how they do it is that you can decide whether you want to live with their, like provided housing. You still pay weekly rent. It just comes out of your paycheck. Or you can like live off on your own. I just think it's easier, and I like being there because it's like a community. You have extra events you can go to.
Most people do live there. The only reason you wouldn't is if you like already lived in Florida. Like those were the only people who like didn't live there.
Yeah. So I know there's definitely mixed feelings on it. So when we started, Flamingo Crossings Village is actually a newer apartment complex. Before our year, it was actually in a different place. So it's brand new. I was actually, so there's two sides. There's east and west. Do you live in east or west?
I was east.
Okay, I lived in west. And because I came in January 10th, I was actually the first group to move into the west campus.
Yes, because west is brand new.
Yeah. So we were the first ones there. When like for the first like 2-3 months, there was no one there. It was just like my row of buildings that were there, and the rest was like still kind of under construction.
Yeah, even when I visited it during my program, I'm like, there's like so much construction going on.
Yeah, like they're still building it up. If you come in like a year for the DCP, everything's going to be open and all done. We were just there when like they're still opening up everything. By the time I left, like so many more buildings were open. There were so many more people there, and there were people always in the pool or in the community center. Whereas beforehand, there was no one there. It was kind of nice, but I got used to having more people around. Yeah, so I lived in a 2x2, so that means that there were 2 bedrooms, so I shared a room with my roommate.
Which is the cheapest option.
Yes, and that's why I chose it. I had great roommates, so it was fine. So yes, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then you have like the living room and the full-size kitchen. It's a big kitchen too, and all that stuff. I liked it. But I know some people don't like it. I liked it. But what are your thoughts?
So I lived in a 4x4, which was the most expensive one. So I had my own room and my own bathroom. And then we all shared the living room and the kitchen. And I lived in East again. So it was the older one, but we had a lot of issues. So apparently this is a first floor problem over at East. But when I moved in, our apartment was infested with different kinds of bugs. And the housing people didn't really help. And they just kind of gave excuses like, well, it's new buildings. We're still kind of figuring it out. We don't really know what to do about it yet. So it was pretty much just all up to us. But we were infested with cockroaches and millipedes, like bad. I'll have to show you pictures later, and I would just have to go around with a vacuum or a paper towel and pick them all up and flush them all down. So I did not like living there. And then we put in a bunch of work orders, and they would just spray. And then I found out that there was a bunch of cracks in the wall. So it started with we put painter's tape over all the cracks. When my parents visited, my dad brought in like a caulk gun and like filled in all the wall. But it's just like something that they should have done.
Yeah.
So I did not like my apartment, and of course it was the most expensive one.
Yeah.
So I was very frustrated. So that was like the worst of it, but overall, and I after talking to a lot of people, that was just a problem if you were living on the first floor. Apparently the people above us didn't really have issues like that. But the amenities are really nice, I will say. Like the environment that you're living in is beautiful. The outside's beautiful. The pools, the gym, all the common areas, like all the game room stuff. Like it's very nice. But our individual room was not. That was a long story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know like the first floor, and that's like a Florida thing too.
Yeah.
Like there were like little ants, but we got rid of them.
Yeah.
Because my aunt lives down there, and she said that it's kind of just like a Florida issue. So like she has that issues like in her house too. So she knew exactly what to buy, so we got it, and then I got rid of them.
That's good.
Which is nice. Yeah. But that is the issue with Florida, especially if you are going to be first floor, having those stairs. To like protect you from the bugs really do make a difference.
Yeah, not that you can pick where you live,
no,
but if you could, definitely stay off of the first floor.
Or like this is more about like just bugs in general in Florida. Just to warn you about them. I don't like bugs, so when it became summertime, I only saw them like at like Magic Kingdom, or like in Disney in general, you know. But there's like weird bugs where like the males, I forget which one it is. I think the males fly and they don't bite, but then the females crawl and they do bite.
Wait, what?
Really big insects. Yeah.
What do they look like?
They both look different. The crawling ones, there's like a red like dot on it or something like that. It's like bright red or something. I don't know. It's like weird. I forget what they're called. It was the weirdest thing. And then everyone, all the like my fellow coworkers that have been living in Florida and working at Disney, we're like, yeah, it's like that time of year, they're coming out. And I was like, what are these?
Yeah.
It was so weird. Anyway, so they do have big bugs in Florida, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, they are huge.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do a question?
Oh, yes. So what is your funniest work story that you can share?
Do you want to have to think about that?
Okay. So mine is, and the guy who asked this, like, asked it in a different way that I can't put on the air. But I will share his story anyway, which he's probably not even listening to this, but shout out to you. So we had this guy who liked pulling pranks at work, and he's done a lot. Like, you know, like when you pull a task, like when you clock in and you like pull an assignment on where to go, he would take those slips and he would like tape them to different things. So like one time, like we would all be passing around like this rubber chicken with like our assignments written on them or something weird like that. Or like one time he visited as a guest and he rode Soarin' and he brought a bunch of potatoes with him and then he left them in the undersea compartments or like threw them into the pit like below on the ride. So there was like potatoes everywhere one day. And then, and then on St. Patrick's Day, he handed out gold coins to all the guests and he would be like, you have to say this secret message to the next cast member and hand them this gold coin. And they actually did it. And that was funny.
That's so much fun.
And then the one that got him fired was, we had the ride broke down and there was just like, people were just like waiting for maintenance to come and fix it. Like we couldn't really let people leave. So everyone was just sitting in their seats. And he went on the PA system and started playing the cha-cha slide. And that was the end. But shout out to you. You were fun to work with. And he never really wanted to work for Disney again. And after that anyway. So he was just there for a good time.
Yeah.
But those were some funny things that happened.
I like the gold coin thing. Where, like, they guys like give it to you. That's like fun.
Yeah.
They probably have fun with that. See, I feel like a lot of the funny stories I have, like, I can't say.
You can't say.
Yeah, a lot of them were backstage. But... yeah.
Or like, was there ever a time where something went like wrong and you had to like cover it up for like the show purposes?
I don't know. There's nothing really fun on stage to cover up. I feel like most things that I have to cover up are like medical emergencies.
Yeah.
I think of okay, I do have one. I don't know how to explain this.
Okay.
Okay, so we were setting up. So someone was coming in to record the enchantment fireworks that night.
Okay.
So when they do that, we set up like ropes to like rope off areas so that the camera crew could go in there. Mm-hmm. So they told us, all right, we need places for the camera crew here, here, and here. We're like, okay. I go to help to get the one spot that's like right in front of the partner statue.
Yeah.
The partner statue is the one with Walt and Mickey in front of the castle. So it's like right in front of that, which is like a prime fireworks spot.
Yeah.
So we go out, you know, we see people right in that spot.
Of
we're
course.
like, hi, we're so sorry. Like, we need to block open this area. The guest was upset. We're like, we're sorry, just like a little bit to the side, you know, you'll be fine. It's going to be the exact same view. Just like head right, like over like a couple, 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then she's mad and I think she like left and I was like, okay. And then, so we're like, sorry, this is important for the story. And then we rope off this like little square in front of the partner statue. And then the coordinator we were with was like, we just got news that they don't need this anymore. And we were like, no, we just kicked this woman out. And we were like, what do we do?
My gosh.
And then, it took us we were also like, I don't know, like getting custom ropes for this. Like we were cutting ropes and like customizing it so we can get this box.
Yeah.
We're like, do we just keep it? And then we were like, all right, we're just going to keep it. And then we kept like putting it almost like up and down like a couple times, like trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And the guests around us thought it was like so funny. Because we were just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But we were trying to make it fun for the people around us, like, just, like entertain, like just watching us.
Yeah.
And then we were like, all right, so maybe we'll make it like a magical moment where we can put people in this box. But in the head, it's just like, but we kicked this person.
I know, you have to go around and find them now.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
did you find a family? You just picked a family and put them in there?
Yeah, I forgot kind of what happened. I think because the job people who would do that was like later on. So, so I think they like put people in and then like right before fireworks, like take down the ropes.
That's funny.
I don't know. Anyway, it was funny then. I don't know if that's funny, like talking about it, but it was like really funny though, just from like us just putting the ropes on and off, customizing it. And we were like not even fully set up when they told us like, oh, we don't need that spot anymore. And then I think they were like, oh, maybe. And they're like, no, we don't need it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, we're just going to put it out. We put all this work into it. Yeah. So we made our little box anyway. And yeah.
And then you made it a magical moment. But you took away a magical moment from another family, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, she was fine. I mean, like, you can see the fireworks same through that whole hub area.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah,
right.
That was kind of funny. Okay, next one is, what would you change about your experience? Wow.
Not that this is something I can control really, but I would have liked to work less.
Okay, yeah, that's a solid one.
I worked 6 days a week, probably 55 to 60 hours a week. And it kind of did take away a lot from opportunities I may have had, places I could have gone to. I wish there was a more healthy work fun balance. It was more work majority of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had anything similar.
Well, I don't know. It kind of switched between if we were like understaffed or not, or overstaffed. Because when I came in, it was 5 days a week, and then the big chunk in the middle was 6 days, and then like my last like month, it was back to 5 days because they just got a whole bunch of new people. But the cool thing about PAC, it's very customizable because there's so many of us that you can trade shifts. And then normally you can extend. If you did parades in the morning, you can extend and get a 12-hour shift if you wanted to. So there's a lot of freedom in that way, which is part of the reason why I like my job. I would have changed, for me personally, I would have liked to use my off time, or specifically, like I worked a lot of firework nights, so I wouldn't even come in. I mean, it changed like every month, but let's say like I would leave around 2. I would have liked to use my mornings better. Like go to the parks in the mornings more than I did. I mean, I did at some points, but I wish that I did that more.
Yeah, me too. because I work like you work a lot of lates, like when you're in the DCP, and yeah, I would just like sleep all morning, or like that would be my time to clean.
Same.
Or, like, whenever I had a free moment, it was like, okay, now I have to go grocery shopping. I have to clean. There wasn't really any time for like fun, and like Soren was kind of rough with this because we had such a small staff, and you had to be trained and assessed, and if you could only if you worked at Soren, like you only could work at Soren pretty much. So there wasn't a lot of room for shift trading, giving away. Sometimes they wouldn't even, like, you could find someone to take your shift, and then management would be like, no, like, we just don't feel like it. We don't feel like putting that through.
There's like weird, like rules for DCP of like dropping shifts. It's like hard to drop a shift as a college programmer. I think
there were two or three. Yeah, you could always pick up, of course.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 or 3 weeks throughout my program where we were only scheduled 5 days. And those were the most magical weeks of my life.
Went to all the parks.
I wish every week was like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like kind of how I feel too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I had a good balance. I feel like I liked working more actually during the end of my program. That was like, all right, now I need to work all the amounts.
I did work a lot towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you just get so used to it, or like everyone there. I don't know. I feel like for me, for like my job, in the beginning, I liked it. And in the middle, I was like, you know, that middle slump where it's like, oh, like, okay, I'm doing this for all. I need like a little break. Yeah. And then it just like revitalized. And I was like, oh yeah.
Did
like,
you
let's
work
go again.
14-hour shifts at where you worked?
No, I think, I don't fully remember, but you could make like a 12-hour shift if you wanted to. You would hardly schedule 12-hour shifts, unless we were like really like low on staff.
We were always scheduled at least 1, but usually 2 14-hour shifts per week.
I know a lot of places are like that. PAC, I think, is one of the roles that like the schedules aren't as high as like most of the other roles in the program. Or just at Disney World in general. So I think that's kind of why. But I feel like most are like yours, where it's like a lot.
So it is my turn to ask a question. And someone wants to know, what is your favorite Pixar movie and Pixar character?
Oh my goodness. Do you have one?
So my favorite Pixar character is definitely Baymax. From Big Hero 6. But I don't know. I kind of want to pick like a different movie.
Yeah, like he's like a fun, like cute character.
Yeah, but I do love Baymax.
And you can like meet him, right?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, I want to meet him so badly. I didn't meet him. This is a big question because there's so much from Pixar.
There is so much. Oh, but
I feel like Finding Nemo's up there. That's Pixar.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Finding Nemo is definitely up there for me. I feel like just because that's like a classic.
Yeah. If we're going like old Pixar, I'm thinking like Toy Story is like a classic. But if we're going new, I think Soul.
Oh, Soul's a good one.
Is like one of my tops. Mm-hmm. But also, this isn't my top, but I just want to mention this. The new Lightyear movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it's actually really good.
I loved it. And I know I've heard mixed reviews, but I would highly recommend. There's this, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's this cat character. It's like he has a cat. And that cat is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, I was dying. Everything this cat said was so like hilarious. So I highly recommend you watch that.
Ooh, I need to watch that.
So favorite character and movie for you.
Okay. Oh, favorite character. I didn't think about that.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, whatever you got.
Okay. Well, I think WALL-E is so cute.
Yes, that was one of the ones I was looking at too.
The thing about WALL-E though is like sometimes it makes me sad because I feel bad and I don't like sad movies. But WALL-E, I know.
Pixar's always something sad.
Yeah, for real.
All the Pixar movies make you cry.
I would love to meet WALL-E. I think you were able to meet WALL-E.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Me neither. I think
that sounds really cool, though.
I heard about that.
I mean, if you can meet the droids at Star Wars, then why not?
Yeah. I would love to meet Wally. Yeah, probably Finding Nemo or Monsters, Inc. Mm-hmm. One of those two.
The first one or the Monsters University?
First.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Oh, wait.
At least I thought he came out once. I don't know.
There are. I looked up Wally meet and greet, and they do have like a little...
Yeah, it's Wally.
I would love that.
Okay, so next question, I guess, to kind of keep on with the favorites.
Okay.
What was your favorite ride?
Oh, if I had to pick one...
Well, I don't know if you're the same one as me. But mine was definitely Guardians.
Yes, okay. So I won't pick that one, but that's definitely a top.
Yeah.
But my favorite... Probably... I mean, whenever anyone asks me this, I'm like automatically Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage is so
Flight of Passage
good.
is amazing.
That's definitely
also,
up there.
That was also before I rode Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, yeah.
Which is another amazing one. But I think I'm going to stick with Flight of Passage because it's just got everything.
Yeah.
It's got like a little bit of that thrill factor because you are pretty high up and it does make you feel like you're falling.
Yeah,
sometimes.
for real.
And it's very immersive. You got the smells, you got the wind. You're sitting on this like cool little bike. It's got like a seat that I've never seen in any other ride. It feels like you're like sitting on like a bike and then like restraints come up around you. I'm like, that's like so weird, but
it's so cool.
And then there's like glasses. Yeah, it's got like everything in a ride.
Yeah, like that one and Rise definitely are my other two favorites. So, and Pirates if you want to go classic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Guardians just kind of took it for me after the first time I rode it.
Oh yeah.
Do it if you have the chance. Okay.
What is your favorite memory? We'll do like not on the job.
Not
like just your favorite memory like from your program. Like that doesn't involve you like working.
Oh man. I have to like think back. Do you have one? I do that after each one. I'm like, do you have one so I can think about it?
Yeah. I'll just talk about, and this is like, this is definitely something I'll remember like forever. Like the Iridescent Nights, which is
fun.
like the cast only event. I did Magic Kingdom both times. I wish I did a Hollywood Studios one, but basically you could go into the park after close and you could ride any ride you wanted. There was like no lines. They had a bunch of free food, a little dance party with Chip and Dale. It was like a big cast member event, and you could bring a guest. So the first time I just went with like my friends at Soarin', and then the second time I brought my boyfriend with me, and I was able to get him on like any ride he wanted, and we got snacks, and it was just like a really fun thing that I'll like never be able to do again unless I'm a cast member again. Like that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the things that come to mind are like during work actually. But I don't know, I just had a lot of like fun times like in general with my friends. Like I don't know, we would just do fun things. I know one day, like me and my friend Lizzie, we went to Animal Kingdom, and it was just like such like a chill, like fun day. Like we went like on the train thing, and then went to like the whatever the island thing is called.
Yeah,
Rafiki's Discovery Island.
Yeah,
something.
it's like Discovery Island.
And we like drew Bambi.
Yeah,
it was my first time.
That's something I didn't get to do. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was just like a chill day. I don't know. I know one day when we went horseback riding, we went over to like check in. We weren't able to horseback ride till like 2, so we went to Epcot first, and then we went horseback riding, and then we went back to the parks, and it was just like, it was so much fun. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of just like overall like moments. I could probably think of like a specific one, but I would have to like go really like in my brain.
Well, do you want to do on the job now?
Yeah, we can do it on the job.
Okay, so this is the favorite memory while you were working.
Okay, I have 2. One was like my last fireworks shift. It was really special, and this is when we were doing 2 fireworks shows a night. We did it for like 2 weeks as like a test run.
Okay, yeah.
I actually liked it because then I could. The second one, no one was there, so we can just watch the fireworks basically. Yeah. So after the first one, I got to pick like the spot I wanted, and I had all my friends surrounding me, like where we were working. It's kind of hard to explain, but we get like spots around like the hub area where we are stationed at. So they stationed all my friends with me because my friend was coordinator. And I got to pick my spot. That's what you get to do on your last day. And then, you know, I got this on I had the turtle box, which means I have a little mic on me. And so after I was on my thing right before the fireworks, you know, I did a little thing to the guests. I was like, thank you guys because I have like a line of guests that are there like for an hour with me. So I was like, thank you. It was like my last fireworks show. And then they all like clapped and it was like all sweet. And someone was recording it, I guess. And I really want that recording. I should have asked that person.
Yeah.
And then the second one, we just like watched the fireworks all together. And it was just like a really wholesome moment. And then the other one was actually working for Iridescent Nights. So our job is to like sweep. So basically anyone who doesn't have the band to stay there for Iridescent Night, we have to be like, hi, like, please making your way towards the, you know, door. And when we get to a point and there's like no one really here left, and then we just do our final sweep down Main Street, they're playing like normal music at this point because the DJ is like played like throughout the whole park and especially in front of the castle. So we're all just like bopping to music. We're all dancing. So now we're just literally walking down Main Street with like hardly anyone there. And we're all just dancing to music.
That's funny.
And it was just so much fun. And I was like, wow, this is like great. Oh, and I do have another one.
No, keep going.
I'll do it really fast.
No, keep going. Yeah.
We were having a overnight training for parades before Festival Fantasy came back. So us who were training, we got there like right before the fireworks started. So they allowed us to watch the fireworks backstage. And this is where they have all the wheelchairs. So I got to watch fireworks as we were all like just sitting in wheelchairs, like watching. It was like the funniest thing ever. And this like guy came out, like another cast member came out of the restaurant. He looks over and he sees like, I'll tell you more later, I can't say, but, and he sees us later. And it's just a whole bunch of people just in a line of wheelchairs, like looking at him as he comes out. It was the funniest thing ever. And it was so cool to be like in Magic Kingdom, like after hours, you know, after the guests are clear and like see like the nighttime routine. It was cool.
Yeah. No, those are definitely like very magical experiences that like you'll only have working that job.
Yeah.
So I have a couple. Okay. So yeah, definitely my last day on the job, it was a extended evening hours for Epcot. So there weren't a whole lot of guests because it wasn't like a really popular day. I think I worked for a good hour of that shift, and then I just rode the ride multiple times. Every flight I went up. And it was another girl's last day too, so we just took turns going to every seat, and we just rode Soarin' in every different location. So I've seen it from every different spot. And then we do a thing at Soarin' where after all the guests leave, our whole like cast rides Soarin' together with the people whose last day it is. So that's always really fun. And even when it wasn't my last day, like just doing that every time it was someone's last day was always like a good like memory because we were just like all really close and everything. And then we had a nice little photo shoot after. There's always a photo shoot after.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the costume at all the different locations. So that was really fun. And there was this night where they were doing a cast only ride of Guardians. Like one night. It was really late, but I think it was another extended evening hours for us. So we just got done work and we're like, oh, it's almost going to be over. So me and my friends, we were still in costume and we just sprinted through the whole park. And if you know me, I never run, but we were running to Guardians and we were able to get on it. And it was like the 4 of us. And then we, rode it in costume because we literally just came from work and we're like, oh my God, it's going to be over in like 20 minutes. Like we have to go. And we were like the last ones on it, I think. And that was so fun.
That's so sweet.
Trying to think if there's anything else on the job.
I feel like I definitely need to write these things down. I like got a notebook for it too, so I can like write. But then like I got lazy.
Yeah. No, I did. I did write a lot during my program.
That's good.
But yeah, I think that's all I got. So if you want to
go, if you could choose like any role other than like your own that you had, what would you do? I would probably do. I really wanted to work on like an actual ride and have that like experience. Oh no, I would want to do children's activities at a resort.
Yeah.
And if not, then do attractions at like either Pirates or Guardians. Mm-hmm. Or Rise. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know if I could be mean, but
at Rise. Oh yeah.
What about you?
So my other ones that I wanted, attractions was definitely like one that I did want. Mm-hmm. But I also wanted a character attendant.
Oh yeah.
Those look really fun, which is the people who stand next to the character and like make sure the guests are like coming in and out and making sure the character's okay. Mm-hmm. And then children's activities at a resort or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, I mean, I was kind of interested in PhotoPass too, like that.
Oh, okay.
Which I've actually heard not so great things about, because you're standing
alone.
That's in the sun.
Yeah.
Apparently, like my friend's like roommate was in PhotoPass, and she's like, we would have physical therapists for like our hands.
Oh,
for
like you have to hold it,
holding the camera and like pushing that button over and over and over again in a day. So I've actually heard like, but I mean, there's perks like every other job. Like it is like proposals. Yeah,
a lot of people do proposals with PhotoPass.
Like I'm sure like there's are good things to the job too, and I think I would have. I mean, that's a job where you would have to work in like I couldn't do a 12-hour shift for that. Like but that was another one that I wanted.
Yeah, I was like, I have a friend who did it, and she loved it. Mm-hmm. Some people are just like really good with like, you know, knowing all the poses and like, because they
you can have some fun with that.
Yeah, because they're like right like where like I would be too. Like we would be in the same areas, just doing different things. Mm-hmm. And some of them just get so into it, and it's like so entertaining. I don't know if I could do it, but it's like fun to watch. Yeah, because then some people are like, oh, like it's so great, you know, make a little magical moment with that.
Yeah, you definitely make a lot of magical moments with that, and you definitely need like a good like that cast member guest interaction for sure. That's all you get. Yeah. So if you're really into that, that would be a really good one. Mm-hmm. Just going off of that, this is just a question I made up right now. What is a role that you didn't want? Was there anything that you're like, man, I really hope I don't get this role? Cause no.
I didn't necessarily want food and beverage. Mm-hmm. I'm vegetarian, so my worst fear was that they would put me in a place that had meat, and I didn't want to touch meat. So that was like definitely my biggest thing. I was like, I would not want to touch that. So even though obviously we're not cooking, but it's still like handing it out. I don't know. I just like didn't want to do that. So
no, that makes sense. That's a good one. I was really worried. I mean, I kind of really didn't want anything in a resort. Anything where I was
like not in the parks,
bellhopping or front desk or because I kind of work like that's kind of similar to what I do now. I work at a gym where I worked kind of like a front desk thing, so I didn't really want something that was like so heavily what I already do.
Yeah, something different.
And I didn't really want to work at a resort because I kind of wanted that magic of being in a park. And I was one of those people who didn't want custodial, but after the program, custodial is actually not as bad as I thought. I mean, it is. I mean, I still probably wouldn't pick it. Yeah. But a lot of people who worked for custodial like loved it. Apparently, the management is so good, and they kind of just floated around to wherever they wanted. They kind of had to stay in some general location, but you can kind of like it was more like. You could like free to do what you want until you got called to do something. But yeah, that was something I like. If I got that, I don't think I would have gone.
Yeah, the people there are so, like, the custodians are so sweet, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Like, after my program, like,
yeah,
I would have done it.
Yeah, like, my one friend, Andrew, he did custodial before he came to PAC, and, yeah, he loved it, and he was good, and, all his friends are, like, still there, like, doing custodial at Magic Kingdom, you know? So he was, like, always hanging out with them and, like, seeing them. And I was like, oh, it's, like, so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I feel you.
I mean, I kind of didn't want food and bev either because they're so strict on, like, what you can wear and, like, the hair
the nails.
and the nails.
Yeah.
And...
You definitely have to, like, because, like, you don't want long nails. You can't have long
food
nails.
And bev is definitely the most strict
which is
when
good,
it comes
because it went hygienic.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course. But I mean, at the time, not now, but I was heavily on, like, the acrylics, like, every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Getting those refills. So I was like, I have to get rid of the nails. I have to lose my nails for this job.
Okay. So the next one is, how did you make DCP work with your college semesters and credits? I don't know about you. I just took the semester off. I didn't take any credits. Did you?
I took the spring semester off, and then I took 2 classes in the summer online. Okay. They were back to back. They were history, prereq classes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. History to 1600 or something.
Yeah. It was that one. It's like history 150 and 151. To the 1600s and then 1600s to now. I took that online in the summer. It was super easy. It was fine. But yeah, I would definitely recommend taking the semester off while you're there because you're working so much you won't have any time for any more than one class, which I did. I took them back to back. Yeah, I only had time for the one barely.
Yeah, my roommate was taking 4 classes while she was there, and she was working at Canada.
I knew a lot of people that were like full-time students, and I was like, how do you have time for this? Like, you don't sleep.
Yeah, she had a lot of late nights, let's say, with that. I mean, she somehow balanced it between being able to go to work and still going to the parks and stuff. Maybe that was from, like, sacrificing some sleep, but she did it. I don't know how, but, like, props to her. You know, I couldn't do that. I knew I didn't want to take any classes anyway. Just because, like, I wanted to be just fully immersed. I wanted to use all my free time to do, like, if I want to do stuff at Disney or Universal or whatever.
No, you definitely want your free time. And really quickly, I personally didn't get any credits for the program.
I didn't either.
But they do, some schools might give you, like, 3 credits for completing the program. But I know if you do go to Rider University, you can get engaged learning points for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, mine's full anyway, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just knew we couldn't get credits for it, but that's, like, up to the college.
I put it in as an internship, so
yeah.
The website's been, like, down, but I'm expected to get 3 points from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So we're going to do 2 more questions to end off today's show. So the first one will be, when do you recommend coming into Disney World, taking into consideration, like, weather, crowds, prices, holidays, etc.? Just when do you think is a really good time to go to Disney overall? Okay. Well, fun announcement. I kind of convinced my mom and my sister to go to Disney in December.
This December coming up? Oh my gosh, that's so soon.
We literally just bought the plane tickets and stuff because I really miss my friends in Main Street. So it's going to be my first time going during Christmas.
Yes.
And Christmas is coming up. If you guys are looking forward to that, they do have Christmas parties during December and during, like, Halloween. So if you are going for a holiday, just be careful which days you're going to Magic Kingdom. Because if you're not doing the party, the park does close early. So that's why we're going to Magic Kingdom on a day of not a Christmas party. Okay. So that we have the full day there.
So you're not doing the Christmas party at all?
No, we're just going to do a day of Magic Kingdom. We're only going to be at Disney one day. And then I think, like, Universal
Please
Day.
Please post pictures.
Yes. I
of how it's decorated. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah. I was like, so there is appeal to holidays for, you know, it's just, you know, holiday decorated, especially for Halloween and Christmas. They, like, really decorate everything. Though it will be more expensive. Also, if you want to do the parties, which are also more expensive than just getting a ticket. So it's up to you, like, whether that is worth it for you. If you're not looking for something, like, special, when would you say, like, a normal, just, like, average Disney trip is
I
a good
think
time? Like spring?
Yeah, definitely spring. I was thinking like late April, early May.
That's good.
Because it's starting to get warmer. When I came in February and March, my friends visited in March, it was still kind of sweatshirt weather, kind of jacket, like light jacket weather. Once you get end of April, early May, it's like t-shirt, like it feels like summer, even though it's spring. But it's not too hot. So it's like the perfect weather. You're always going to have rain. There's no way to beat the rain, no matter what month it is. Yeah. I mean, you definitely don't want to go in like July, August, September, like hurricane season.
That's true, because it will storm rain that day.
Yes.
Every day.
But you're always going to have rain. But the weather's the best. It's not crowded because it's after spring break, but before summer. So it's not crowded. I don't know how the prices are. They're not as expensive as like a holiday though.
Yeah.
Because they do up the prices during like when they know it's spring break and when they know like summer is just starting for like kids in school.
The busier times.
Yeah. So the prices do go down like a little bit. And that's when I noticed that the parks were like the least crowded, but the weather's like perfect. So that would be like the dream.
There you go, everyone. April, May. It's the time to go. And then our last question to finish it off is kind of, I guess we can kind of talk about like what we want to do, but what are the next steps after DCP with Disney? Like, do you go full-time, internship, part-time, like whatever, after DCP? I know a lot of the people, at least that I worked with, after their program ended, they did extend, and then after the extension, they applied for part-time and got it. So now they're still there. They have like a house and are part-time, and then you can move up to full-time. I think relatively easy from part-time to full-time.
Yeah.
After you like get that part-time. So
I think when my friend was explaining it to me, because she recently did it, she said it's so I think she also went part-time, but she said it's very easy to switch from a part-time job to a full-time job. It is very hard to switch from a part-time job to a different part-time job or a full-time job to a different full-time job. So she said she recommended after your program going part-time somewhere, and then and then when you want to go full-time, or if you want to try a different job, then go full-time somewhere else. But it is very normal to finish your DCP, and then you can go through like Transfer Genie, and you can kind of pick where you want to go from there, and it's a much smoother process than like coming in, not doing the DCP. And the DCP just looks good on any resume.
Oh yeah, they see Walt Disney Company on there, they're like, oh, big company.
So that it is a great thing to have on your resume. Every job interview I've been to since doing the DCP, the first thing they ask is, "Oh, so you did the DCP? Tell me about your DCP, like your Disney college program." It's like employers love it.
Yeah, and then they also have the Disney professional internship, which is different than the Disney college program, where it's like a internship specific to like something, like if you want like an accounting internship, like something like that, like a more like normal internships that you get just with Disney instead. You can do this after the Disney college program. There are like rules to it, so you can't like work at Disney for a year consecutively to get like another, like if you do DCP for a year, you can't do the professional internship after that. Or you have to like wait a certain amount of time until then, or I don't know, something like that. There's weird rules, and then you have to have graduated within 6 months to do the professional internship as well.
Okay.
And I think you only do one, I think, but I'm not completely sure on that. Don't quote me.
Yeah, because the DCP, you could do multiple Disney college programs. You could keep applying and keep moving back, but you're saying for the professional, you do it once and then you're done. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of keeping Disney internships open, because I want the ability to get a professional internship after I graduate, to get myself back in Florida and back with the company.
Do you know in what?
I'm not sure completely what. I think it'd be fun to do something like social media, video content type of thing.
That'd
where,
be good.
yeah, something a little bit more behind the scenes, but I'm still like around the parks.
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm looking for right now. And a lot of times, not saying you get it every time, but a lot of times you can like find like a job after your professional internship. I heard there's a pretty good like success rate with that. So that's what I would hope to do.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. Like, if you're looking to go to the DCP, like, you need to listen to this episode. We covered pretty much everything. So.
Yeah, I definitely recommend. My friend just got into it, so congrats to you.
Oh, congrats to you. You'll love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, well, thank you for listening to Disney's Insiders.